How's it going, guys? So it all comes down to this. Ireland versus South Africa, Aviva Stadium, an absolute fortress, and this is definitely going to be the toughest task that Ireland have had all year. So I want to hear what your thoughts are. How do you think this game is going to play out? And I want to give you my guys' prediction at the end of the video. So drop your thoughts in the comment section below, like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So Ireland are definitely going to have the toughest task that they have had all year under a very, very strong Springbok side that is very resilient and are still able to come through with wins up against difficult opposition with 14 and even 13 men on the field. So Ireland are really going to have to pull up their socks. They are really going to have to get the best out of their players, because they have had some good performances. Unfortunately, they lost to a shaky All Black side. They came through with a big win up against Japan and another good win up against Australia. But South Africa are not Australia, Japan, and we certainly are not the All Blacks. So South Africa have been on a rampage, whether it's losing at half time a player to an immediate red card, which was absolutely ridiculous, and then to have Franco Mostert get a red card on the 11th minute of the game up against Italy. So we were without a player for 70 minutes, and we still managed to come through with a comfortable win. Now, you have to take it with a pinch of salt. Ireland are not just any ordinary team. There is rivalry here. There is greatness on the line. And there is bragging rights on the line as well. Both teams want to come for the jugular. Both teams want to win. Hopefully South Africa are able to keep the, 15 players on the field for more than 10 minutes this time, unless the referee decides he wants to intervene a little bit too much for shaky decisions, which we saw happen quite often. We look at the game between South Africa and Italy, where we had Franco Mostert, and then we saw Ireland's last game with Prendergast and his tackle. The difference in decisions is quite ridiculous, but no point crying over spilt milk. Let's take a look into this. So last 5 games, we've seen Ireland come through with a huge win, especially in that second half up against the Wallabies, 46-19. A big win up against Eddie Jones, Japan, 41-10. And yes, they did lose in their comeback to having their full squad, 26-13, which, albeit for a vast majority of the game, Ireland actually deserved to win. They were not clinical enough. They were not able to put the All Blacks to the sword and really make them pay for the mistakes. And they were making a fair amount of mistakes. Whereas with South Africa, they beat Italy with 14 men on the field for 70 minutes, 32-14. We managed to beat France 32-17 whilst having only 14 players on the field for half a game, so just around over 40 minutes. We put in an absolutely thumping win up against Japan, 61-7. Argentina 29-27, which was a very tough game. And then the game prior to that, we beat them 67-30. So South Africa are definitely on the run. South Africa are definitely showing why they are the best team in the world, why they deserve to be rated number 1. Everybody else has looked shaky. Yes, even that when South Africa have looked a little bit off, we have still managed to pull through with huge performances, especially in that last 20 minutes of the game. But Ireland are definitely going to be a difficult task. I mean, we take a look at their last 5 meetings. They actually beat us in 2024, 25-24, which was an intense, very heated game where, yes, they were actually one of only 2 teams to beat us the entire year. It was them and Argentina. We then beat them 27-20 earlier in that year. They beat us 13-8 in the World Cup, and unfortunately that didn't end very well for Ireland in the end. And then 2022 and 2017, they beat us both times. So this South Africa is definitely of a different caliber. I truly do feel this side, we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of players that are really stepping up to the field. We have players like Ruan Nokia, who before this year, he was kind of like a fringe player. And this year, he has really stepped up and shown what a monster he is. We have seen huge performances coming throughout the park. We've seen Ethan Hooker really start gaining himself a lot of traction in the squad, whether he's playing 11, 14, 13, 12, he can do it all. And we've seen big performances from Damian Willemse, Damian de Allende, Jesse Creel. We've seen Morné van den Berg really start to shine through as well. But we've been resilient. We've had the offense. We've had the likes of Archie Snyman, Ruan Nokia, Lua Diacher when he's not getting red carded, Franco Moshdert when he's not getting red carded. But not only that, Zachary Porthen comes in strong. He's been getting game time. Unfortunately, I can't see him making the bench at all for this game, but there is a lot of talent on show, right? Now, let's take a look into Ireland's last game up against Australia. So they put in a very, very good performance, all throughout the park, but mainly I want to take a look at their squad. So we take a look at the squad and we see the likes of Paddy McCarthy. I can't see him starting here. Honestly, I can't see him starting. I think we are going to be seeing the likes of Andrew Porter start, because when you have the likes of South Africa, more than likely we are going to be seeing Boant Venter at 1. We are going to be seeing Malcolm Marx at 2. And then I think we are more than likely going to see Thomas du Toit at 3. I can't see Wilco Low start now. He's always been on the bench and come on as an impact player. So we are more than likely going to see Andrew Porter, Dan Sheehan and Ty Furlong as the pair. Obviously, you could potentially see Ronan Kelleher. I can't see Ronan Kelleher starting over Dan Sheehan, especially up against South Africa. But James Ryan, Ty Byrne, Ryan Baird, Jack Conan, Caelan Doris, I think these 3 are going to be the setbacks, back rows. I think that the performances that they put in, especially Ryan Baird, these are going to be the performances that are going to be needed to beat South Africa. They're going to need to be physical. They're going to need to be able to move the ball around, and they're going to need to be able to make South Africa make mistakes. And these 3 are quite possibly the most dangerous monsters that they have. Gibson Park, no doubt he's going to start. And now this comes the question: Prendergast or Crowley? Prendergast or Crowley? Personally, I'm going Crowley in this instance, and then have Prendergast come on if needed. I still do feel Jack Crowley is a more all-rounded player, especially from what he's shown this year. A more all-rounded player than what Prendergast is. Prendergast is very good at going forward, very poor when it goes to coming back, and he still makes a lot of unnecessary mistakes. But I feel Jack Crowley, he just has his head on him just a little bit better. He's playing a little bit better, and whenever he's on the field, he's making an impact. So for me, Jack Crowley needs to start, and then you have Prendergast on the bench. Honestly, they had McCloskey. I can't remember how bad it was for McCloskey, but I can't see him starting either. Robbie Henshaw is going to be a definite. James Lowe is going to be a definite. O'Brien, I think he's going to be a definite as well, and then Mac Hansen as well. We could definitely see someone like Bundy Aki start at the 12, and then have Bundy Aki and then Robbie Henshaw as a center partnership. But considering the performance that Mac Hansen put in, I think he's going to be the first name on the field at 15. And I think they are pretty much going to keep. This these backs, bar Prendergast and McCloskey. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But they are going to have a very strong squad. They are going to have to fight South Africa for an entire 80 minutes, which is not easy. And we've seen it up against Italy. We've seen it up against France. We've seen it up against the All Blacks. We've seen it up against pretty much everybody. Come that 60th minute, teams start to break down. They cannot keep with that pace. They cannot keep with the physicality, and they start to break, which is where South Africa really start to unravel teams. We start hitting the mauls very strong. We start going for the lineouts. We start wearing you down, and then have the likes of everything just start to add on that pressure and that power until you just want to give up. And then we have the likes of Grant Williams come on, like we've seen him so many times. Grant Williams, he's going to come on and he's going to find his way into that try line with that pure speed. Whether Sasha Feinberg starts or not, he's just going to make a huge impact. But Ireland definitely have a very good shot here. They got a lot of elite level talent. Will they have enough for South Africa though? That's a completely different ball game. Now we go and we take a look into South Africa. So I think we definitely going to see quite a few changes here. But in terms of South Africa's side, we are going to be seeing pretty much outright changes. I think Khaleesi is still going to keep his spot, but we're more than likely going to see Bon Venter, Malcolm Marx, and then Thomas du Toit as the pack. I can see us having Ruan Nokia and then Ibanetzabet starting as the lock pairing. Siya Khaleesi is going to be there. Whether Marco van Staden is going to start, he might start at the 6 or he might come from the bench, but I think we are going to be seeing what we've seen a lot this year is we're going to see Siya Khaleesi at 6, Jasper Wiese at 8, and then we're going to see Pieter-Steph du Toit at 7. I don't think Ben Jason Dixon is going to make the squad at all, although he is an absolute elite level player. I just don't think he's going to be in the mind for what South Africa are going to need to do and the depths that they're going to need to go to beat this island squad. So I think Marco and Dixon are definitely elite players, but I just can't see them getting the game time to start. Maybe Marco getting, being on a replacement, but yeah, Khaleesi, Pieter-Steph du Toit, and Jasper Wiese is definitely going to be there. But if we were to say Marco van Staden, Pieter-Steph, and then Jasper Wiese, that is a scary back row. So, but I can't see us dropping our captain. Morne van den Berg and Pollard, I can't see either of them starting. I think we are more than likely going to see Kobus Reinach coming back in at 9 and then have Grant Williams on the bench. We are going to see Sasha Feinberg start at 10, and then we're going to see Mani Libbok at 23. Although Pollard, when you want a player like Pollard, he's going to be crucial. So I think there's every chance that Pollard might actually get the nod over Mani Libbok. But yeah, that's definitely going to be an interesting call no matter which way you look at it. Now, in terms of the other backs, Kurtley Arendse, Ethan Hooker, Kenan Moody, Van der Merwe, and then Damian Willemse. So Damian Willemse, he's a dead spot on, 15. There's no way he's not starting. Where it's going to start getting interesting is going to be around the centers and the wings. So I think we are going to go back to good and old Damian Dialende and Jesse Creel. I think these two are going to be essential. They are going to be crucial. I do feel that Kenan Moody, he's been playing a lot at 13, and if Jesse Creel is going to be starting, I think we will see Kenan Moody on the replacements bench. And then I think we might even see Ethan Hooker starting at 11, Cheslin Colby at 14 as well. Now, we could definitely see Kurtley Arendse at 11, Ethan Hooker potentially on the bench, and then, work their way around. I just can't see Edward van der Merwe getting any kind of game time. I don't think he's going to be part of the squad at all for this. And Ethan Hooker might even be rested, but he's been putting in some serious performances. So there's every chance that he might still play a part, but there's only so much space that you have on the side, especially when you have players like Andre Esterhuizen, who I think he's going to be crucial to the way South Africa play, especially the second half. So considering Andre Esterhuizen has been looked at a lot as a forward recently, I think, we are more than likely going to have pretty much what we see here. Steenkamp, Low, Archies Neyman. We'll probably see Jean Klein there, Andre Esterhuizen. Whether Kwagga is going to get anything here, I don't know. But that might be someone like Marco. But Kwagga, he does definitely bring on that extra added, that violence, that energy, that bulldog mentality that can also win you a game, and then have Grant Williams and Mani Libbok on the reserves. I think this is definitely going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Personally, looking at the way South Africa's been playing, looking at the way the island's been playing, I do still have South Africa down as the favourites. This is not me being biased. This is me looking at fight, grit. This is me looking at performances. This is me looking at opponents as well. South Africa find a way to win, and they managed to find a way to win in the most crazy ways possible. We showed just how dominant we are when it comes down to our physicality. Not many teams in World Rugby can maintain that kind of physicality for 80 minutes like South Africa can do, especially considering our replacements are just as good as our starting 15. So it's a real uphill battle. Ireland are capable of doing it. They did it last year. They can definitely do it now. But South Africa have had a lot more game time. I know I said this up against the All Blacks. Although the All Blacks did come away with a win, they didn't deserve it, in my opinion. South Africa is a completely different ball game, though. A completely different ball game. Right now, you cannot compare the likes of South Africa, All Blacks, France, England. And yes, I know the English are getting very overhyped because they managed to beat the All Blacks one time. But don't forget, South Africa did it just earlier on, and they gave them an absolute hiding as well, and at Wellington. So, yeah, honestly, this is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a hard-fought game that is just going to bring out the best in everybody. But personally, I have South Africa to win here. Now, whether it's going to be a big game or not, South Africa could definitely take the game away, like we did up against France, like we did up against Italy. And if we are able to keep 15 men on the field for more than 60 minutes, honestly, I would take that as a win and a personal boost to show that, you know, something's changing. But at this rate, the way that the referees are going, the way TMOs are going, we are going to be, by the end of the 80 minutes, we'll probably be down to 10 men. So yeah, I have South Africa to win by 2 tries and converted tries, so 14 points. So guys, please drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Tell me why I'm wrong. Why do you think Ireland are going to come away with a win up against South Africa, and how are they going to do it? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.